Chris Sims from Pro Football Talk, NBC Sports, about Deshaun Watson and this Browns roster in 2024.
I don't know what to think of Deshaun Watson. I don't. It's another year last year where he didn't play very much. And every moment we thought, ooh, it looks like he's about to turn the corner and start playing at a high level, he got hurt and couldn't play. So, yeah, and there's things about his game that, as I look back at last year again for my quarterback rankings and things, go, hey, this still ain't the old Deshaun Watson. He's still not there. He's not. And this is the first year I'm going into this going, I don't know. Is he going to regain it? I'm not sure what to think of him right now. I'm not. But if he gets it even close to what we saw with the Houston Texans, to your point, Mike, I mean, they are the real deal Holyfield. It's one of the better O-lines in football, right? Their running back room, okay, Chubb's not 100% healthy, but it's still good. We know the receivers as a group, damn. Njoku at tight end. We know the D-line and the pass rushers, legit. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, he's an all-pro caliber middle linebacker for my money. And then they got arguably the best three corners on one team in all of football with Newsome, Emerson, and Denzel Ward. So, yeah, they're ready.
Quincy, that's fair. And I get why people, and Chris Sims was a guy, I've talked to him the last several years at the Combine, and he's a guy, until this year, that was convinced Deshaun Watson was going to come back. So I get it. Until somebody goes out until Deshaun Watson goes out and does it, some people will have questions.
Yeah, I mean, until he plays more than 6 games in a row, people are going to have questions. Like anybody who has not played more than 6 games in a row in the last 2 years, people are going to have a ton of questions about. So yeah, it is fair that people are going to have questions about Deshaun Watson around the league. I'm pretty sure his own teammates are like, hey, man, what does it look like if he does stay healthy for more than 6 games? What does it look like if he plays a whole season? It's fair to ask those questions when it's been, since 2020, since he has played a whole season. So I don't really blame Chris Sims for, being skeptical of it. Because, I mean, even we are skeptical of, can he stay healthy? We hope he can. We're pretty confident that if he does, he'll play good football. But as far as what he looks like when that does happen, we all ultimately don't know. We have some hypotheses on where that goes, but we don't really know because we haven't seen it yet in the Cleveland Browns uniform. I think that's what we all want to see. We want to see him stay healthy, put consecutive games together, and put a body of work that we can identify as, okay, this is what Deshaun Watson is right now.
I have the sense, and tell me if you do or not, and if you don't, that's fine, just say so. I have a sense this is really the first year where Kevin Stefanski is trying to cater the offense to Deshaun Watson. They're trying to play to his strengths more so than they have in the past. Fair, or do you disagree?
I would say this. I don't think this is the first year they tried to do that. I think this is the first year they're properly equipped to do that. Because I don't think that the staff that they had the last few years on the offensive side of the ball were really equipped to adapt to Deshaun Watson's style because they weren't really that familiar with what Deshaun Watson's style is and what that means for a team trying to cater an offense around it. They were more familiar with guys like Joe Flacco, guys like Kirk Cousins or Baker Mayfield's skill set and building an offense around that. So you had a bunch of people who were used to that, trying to build a spread offense that Deshaun Watson can work with, and it just did not work. Now you brought in Ken Dorsey, you brought in I was about to call him Tommy Tuberville, not Tommy
Rees. Tommy Rees.
Tommy Rees. Yeah. Tommy Rees. You brought in all these guys who are super familiar with mobile, bigger quarterbacks who can also play in that spread system. And now you're building an offense around Deshaun Watson with people who really understand what that means. So I think the effort was there. When Deshaun Watson came in 2022, they were running RPOs and trying to just copy and paste what he did in Houston. It didn't work. And I think they tried to do a version of that last year and it still didn't work. And they just finally said, hey, we got to get some guys in this collaboration process that are experienced at building an offense around somebody like Deshaun Watson instead of trying to have all of our guys adjust to trying to do what Deshaun Watson does. So I don't think that they haven't tried to. You pay $230 million, you're going to try to build an offense around how that guy plays. It's just, I don't think they've had the right personnel in place to be able to successfully make that adjustment. And I think it'll look a little bit different now because these guys should know how to build an offense around Deshaun Watson. They've done something like that before.